Hello, everybody. It's the Heroic Legend here. We are back. I'm just in the microphone. Pardon me for that. There's been some new reveals for the OC. Wait, what? The OCG? Doesn't that mean? Okay. Regardless, I want to talk about this because we got some new cards coming out. I, of course, have Master Duel up because I will be recording from this later on. But here's a little sneak preview for the next video. I'm going to be looking at this deck, and what in God's name was wrong with it. This is some improvement on it, but we'll get back to that after we've tackled this. I kind of want to do a thing where I kind of like roast certain really bad decks I come across. Like the ones that had no chance of winning due to any number of factors. I'll also give my thoughts and opinions, so, you know, if you really don't want to hear such, or if you're worried about, like, how it off to a bad start. But I want to talk about the new reveals. We are getting some new cards, and I think it might be soon because we already got the kind of other version of this, the Magician version of this card, which, well, something like it. So first off, thank you to the Master Duel meta folks. It's Brad AT and Heartbreaker. Dragon of Soul and Pride, a level 8 Dark Dragon effect monster with 2500. Just like the card that you got if you did the duels for this brief event, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I am talking about the Bonds of Friendship. I believe you just have to complete a certain amount of duels, 4 of them, and once you do, you get all this, right? So you get the title, Bond of Duelist, you get this little cool icon, which I kind of think is neat. You get this little cool icon border, which I really do like, and then you get a free deck box, which is the Magicians of Unity, and then of course you get the Royal Prismatic Magicians of Bond and Unity, which has the same exact effect as this card, which is must be special summoned from your hand while your opponent has 25 or more cards in their graveyard. Oh wait, correction, similar, but yeah. Oh no, while your opponent has 25 or more cards in their graveyard. I could see this in like the mill type of decks, like the Mayakashi mill, but you know, it basically becomes a 2500, a 5000 attack beat stick, as does the Magicians of Bond, the Magician one. Next up is a Dark Magician, the Ebon Sorcerer. I don't know if this part counts for Dark Magician effects or not, because Toon Dark Magician did not count. I'm just gonna go look it up real quick. Yeah, Toon Dark Magician did not count for quite a few things. They don't think it counts as a Dark Magician card per se. Just like how the Dark Magicians didn't count even though it has the word Dark Magician in it. I think it specifically has to be listed with the thing with, let me go to the Dark Magicians. I believe it has to be something like this one, who's like, this card's name is Dark Magician, or again, what this card's name becomes Dark Magician. If it becomes Dark Magician, it goes for the Dark Magician effects. But and spoilers for anyone who was curious. So yeah, he becomes Dark Magician regardless. So while in the Monster Zone, but only in the Monster Zone, in the graveyard, and otherwise he's not. So that's something to keep in mind. A little bit more Dark Magician support. You can only use the following effects once per turn. If Gold Sarcophagus of Light, I haven't seen that card yet, but I'm curious. It's on the field. You can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is destroyed by card effect, and a level 5 or higher monsters on the field, you can special summon this card, and they can set one trap or spell that mentions Dark Magician directly from your deck. So this is going to be easy Dark Magician support, and they're gonna benefit from it a lot, especially if they can like. So yeah, you can summon this, but it probably would be hard to bring out. You want to special summon it. I don't think we have the Gold Sarcophagus yet. Gold Sar. Nope, only the Golden Sarcophagus. So let's look it up real quick. Gold. Well, it's one of the first cards we see. Ooh, okay, so... I wonder if we can find it on the site we're already on. You know what? Let's just... Okay, the gold sarcophagus is light. So we're going to look at that after we look at a few more of these, because a lot of these mention the gold sarcophagus is light. Massacre. Cannot be destroyed by monster effects. You can only use, yeah, monster effects, but like Harpies, Twin Twisters, MST. The list goes on. There's so many things that can pop spell cards. But to be fair, that protects you from things like Baron, and Cassia Fenrir, all sorts of things, right? So, there's that. You only use each of the effects once per turn, so it's a once per turn, not quick effect, which means it's only on your turn. Once per turn during your main phase, you can add one card from your deck to your hand that mentions Gold Sarcophagus Light, except for itself. If your opponent summons a monster from the graveyard, you can discard one spell and target one of those. Oh, that's... As someone who plays a lot with the graveyard in the archetypes he likes, yeah, that's a bit of a pain in the cheeks. Especially with this card too, it's just easy value. Continuous spell card cannot be searched out via triple tactics. There's, I think there are cards that can search out. They can search it out. Well, I mean, in its own archetype, obviously, or with the support cards. Here's the one that was like, ooh, the Phantom Exodia Incarnate, a level 10 dark spellcaster with fusion that needs all 5 Forbidden 1 monsters, or 5 Forbidden 1 monsters. So. We'll look up to see what would count as a forbidden one. I misspelled it, didn't I? Did I do BB instead of B? Forbid. I can't spell. Oh, no, what happens is I got my brain's got all jumbled. Okay, so we have... I don't think that counts as a forbidden one, but it's obviously Exodia. This mentions it. Yeah, so it'd have to be all 5 of the pieces. I don't think any of these other ones count. Oh, okay. What a weird card to have the word forbidden in it. Anyway, what does the Exodia Incarnate do? Because that might be... No, special summon attributing 1 forbidden 1 monster, and he cannot be special summoned other ways. Interesting. You know, there could be a pretty mean combination with those two. Like, hang on, there must be some fusion from deck. No, I'm looking around. That wouldn't work. Oh, wow, the button press didn't even register. Okay, so... Sorry, I'm just going through it real quickly. I don't think there's really any type of non-specifics, but I know they're coming out with one here, but I just want to see if they had anything similar beforehand. People were talking about, like, Future Fusion. You know, we'll go look up Future Fusion real quick. Future Fusion. During your first standby phase, it's card to show one fusion monster in your extract, then send the fusion materials listed on it from your main deck to your graveyard. Check in standby phase after this card's activation. Fusion summon fusion monster from your extra deck. Same name as the monster you showed, and it's targeted with this card. But yeah, can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects once per turn. If this card battles during the damage calc, you can make this card gain attack equal to your current life point. Once per turn, when a spell or trap card is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation. Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of things have that for free, but spell or trap negation can't be destroyed by card effects. And it's when this card battles, too, which protects it a lot from other nonsense. Of course, you know, Effect Veiler, so. Effect Veiler Infinite. There's a bunch of things that could stop this from... that could easily let this card be beat over. Once per turn, during the end phase, you can set one Exodia spell or trap, or one Obliterate directly from your deck, and once per turn during your standby phase, you pay 1,000. Now, obviously, you got the Forbidden, the Millennium Cross, which takes 5 Forbidden, 1 monster cards from your hand, deck, and or face from the field, reveal them, and then special summon 1 Phantom Exodia Incarnate. So it's the fusion card for this. Well, fusion, air quotes. Yeah, so... then shuffle them all into the deck, except for... yeah, hand, deck, and or face up on the field. I don't know why they would be face up on the field, but it's because they specified that in case, like... although I do wonder if your opponent takes it, does that kind of... this. Shuffle all face-up monsters you control into the deck, except for Exodia monsters whose original level is 10 or higher. Does that count for that Exodia Incarnate card? Level 10. Except Exodia monster cards. Would this count, technically? I wonder. I think there might be, like, a kind of cool way to mix the two. Anyway, I'm getting off track. But let's finish reading the cards first before I keep trying to do stuff and think about it. I'm sorry, I get sidetracked very easily. Yeah, special summon in the deck and shuffle. Oh, and Millennium Monster cards, which, you know. Well, he doesn't count, but you'll start seeing them. You also cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, but you can normal set after activation. This, yeah, so this goes back in the deck, basically. So it can be kind of bricky. I don't know if you would want necessarily two. It can be searched out with thrust and such. Well, let's keep going. So the Dark Magician Mirror Force. This is... I don't... Whenever your opponent declares an attack or an opponent's monster's effect is activated, that will destroy a monster on the field, while a monster that mentions Gold Sarcophagus Light is on the field. Destroy as many of your opponent's activated monsters as possible. Oh, this just activates whenever, too. It's, well, it's not a during battle phase, so that's the only Mirror Force that doesn't get that type of benefit. Interesting. Then, if you control a Dark Magician, inflict 500 for each one destroyed. So if you have a full board, and I'm talking about all 6 spots filled, you take 3,000 damage. Unless you're running Scare Claws, in which case, you know, you only take 500. Maybe. For the rest of the turn after this card resolves, the first time each monster you control it mentions it would be destroyed by battle card effect, it is not destroyed. So it's kind of... it's still pretty good because of the fact that for the Millennium stuff, right, you'll be able to still keep your monsters up, and it would... I don't know if it will protect the Exodia Incarnate, because he doesn't count... He may not count as a Millennium monster. Oh, it mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light. He doesn't, so... meh. Kind of interesting, though. Here are the Millennium cards. Yes, that is Sengenjin. Because apparently, as I read in the comments, this card was supposed to be like the one who carries Millennium treasures, but then they renamed it to Sengenjin. Localization! Anyway, it can't be stored by monster effects. You can only use the following effects of him once per turn, and if this card's in your hand, you can place it. Yeah, you can place it as a continuous spell, and if he is a continuous spell, you can pay 2,000, reveal a Millennium Cross in your hand, and special summon this card, and then you can add one Millennium Monster or Sengenjin from your deck to your hand. So, yeah, so this kind of is trying to be like, oh yeah, you so want to have like a Millennium Cross in your hand, because look, you could bring out like him, 2,000 life points, or the golem that guards, or the shield, or the, I don't know if she counts. Oh, she does, because of this part, because of that part. You know, so you have some decent target for the Millennium stuff. But then you have this one, again, very similar effect. You can pay 2,000, reveal a cross, special summon this card, and you can add the Temple of Stone Slabs. Very similar effect, reveal a special summon this card, then you can add one Millennium Cross. You have 2 Millennium Crosses. That seems counterproductive. I mean, kinda, you know, you might want to mill out the deck faster and, you know, you can get out 2 Exodia, Phantom Exodia Incarnates. That'd be paying 2,000 for effectively a very weird Lava Golem, but if you're trying to OTK, you know, let's say it can only be activated once per turn. Well, I mean, after you activate the first, you can't summon for the rest, so I guess it just helps to loop it, so like, obviously you'd start off with the Caveman, and then the Golem, finish off with the shield, bring out Incarnate, or even, you know, Moon Maiden and such. If this card battles a monster, neither player can... Oh yeah, it's an illusion monster too. So this is going to be fun when it comes out. If your opponent activates a card... Yeah, so once again, you can place a continuous spell. If your opponent activates a card or effect while this card is a continuous spell, you can special summon it, and if you do, your opponent cannot target level 5 or higher illusion or illusion and spellcaster monsters. Wait, level 5 or higher illusion and spellcasters. Okay, so that means level 5 and higher illusion and spellcasters are safe, so none of her fellow Millennium comrades are, but you know, I think Exodia is. Yeah. Spellcaster. Our little reflection buddy. Another, if this card's in your hand, you can, you know, Harpies really hurts this archetype it's looking. Your opponent activates a card or effect while this card is a continuous spell, you can special summon this card, and then you can gain life points equal to half the attack of the monster on the field. Ah, okay, so he's why these 3 have those 2,000 costs. Well, and 1,000 punishment. It's taxes. You probably have to run 3 copies of Fiend Reflection. Pretty sure there are decent... Oh wait, Illusion, that's right. It's not a Fiend, it's an Illusion. Hopefully there are cards that can search out Illusion, because I think his stats make him just barely at the cusp of such. Also, you know, Wind Monster. So there's Wind Attribute support, level 4 support. There's a couple of ways you can be able to search them out pretty easily, hopefully. Then with the Stone Slabs. Return the Slab. During your main phase, you can place 1 monster from your hand, face up on the field, and spell and trap stone as a continuous spell. Oh, so you can also just do it for free. So it'd probably be best if you just... Wait, does it have to be on the field? No, from your hand. Yeah, so... Yeah, you would just basically probably use Golem to get out things like... To get out the slab. Then if you have Caveman or Shield... Easy, easy, easy. Then you can place 1 Millennium Monster or Sengenjin from your deck. Yeah, so you can then, like... Yeah, it's super, super easy, actually. You may want other ways to search this out besides just the Millennium Golem, although it might be a little bit rough. RIP Terraforming. You can only use this effect once per turn. If you control face a Millennium Monster or Sengenjin, well, basically, if the Millenniums or Sengenjin would be destroyed, you can place a fellow in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell instead of sending it to the graveyard. There's Exodo Blaze, which I find kind of funny because it is that Zork? That looks like Zork. Level 10 or higher Exodia with monster you control with Exodia in its name, in its original name. So I think the Exodia Incarnate also gets these effects. Okay, have your life points, store as many as possible, then equip 2 Forbidden 1 spells from your hand, from your hand or deck to this card. It gives the Exodia monster that effect, right? So half your life points, destroy as many cards in the spell and trap. Basically remove the problems. God, I could see someone getting hit with freaking Exodia Incarnate, and like, I'll hit you for 8,000 Mirror Force. No, not even Mirror Force. Magic Cylinders. Oh yeah. You can also gain 2,000 attack for each Forbidden one equipped. But you also cannot activate other cards or effects for the rest of the turn, and discard attacks the defense position monster. You inflict piercing. So yeah, the Exodia Incarnate would basically have possibly. Yeah, no, it could potentially have something like 12k to smack over your opponent's defense position monster. Raging Hellfire, the Exodo Flame, and if you control, once again, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. And this one can also be searched out with Triple Tactics Thrust. Banish this card from your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, then activate one of these effects. You can add Forbidden 1 monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and you can shuffle up to 5 Forbidden 1 monsters from your deck and or banishment into the deck. Yeah, so there's pretty neat Exodia support. I'm kind of curious to see how these cards work and what strategies and stuff can be used up, especially with the Gold Sarcophagus as well, because this seems like it could, it'd be pretty nasty. Yeah, can I destroy my monster's effects and can search out more of it and just you can send a special summon monster just right to the graveyard. And mind you, that's not. Oh wait, it's targeting. It is still targeting. So, but you can stop a lot of shenanigans with this. I feel like. Hell, it might just also be this might be played in Sky Striker decks. Because hey, you special summon a monster, spell card to the graveyard, all sorts of shenanigans I can see. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. Next video, we're going to be focusing mostly on the game itself. But I was just kind of curious about stuff. I have to look up Wind Attribute and level 4 stuff, but, you know. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, much appreciate you if you do. If you liked it, you know what to do. Much appreciate you if you do. And until the next one, I just want to say, laters.